Hi everyone, over at PeteBrownSays.com, you can submit your own story in response to a prompt that appears on the submit page. There's a record button right there on the page. You just click it, share your story, and click send. It's all anonymous, and I love getting to hear your stories. Thanks and good times. A quick preview of Season 2. Hello again, everybody. Just about 1 year ago, I launched Season 1 of my storytelling podcast, Pete Brown Says. And so for the last few months of 2017, I rolled out 11 episodes that mostly told stories from my past that have been knocking around in my head for years. But the funniest thing was what I said at the end of the last episode, namely that I was going to take a few weeks to do some writing and would have Season 2 rolling out in around February. Talk about the audacity of hope. I spent a good 30 years thinking about the stories I told in Season 1. I'm not sure why I thought I'd need just a few weeks to write and produce a second season. February came and went, and in March, I wrote to my newsletter subscribers that I was thinking more like June. By the way, you can subscribe to the newsletter at PeteBrownSays.com. Just click the newsletter button and drop in your email address. I'm a very well-intentioned but ultimately infrequent correspondent. June came and went, and I was only just getting stuck in on the writing, so I decided not to beat myself up about what was ultimately a pretend self-imposed schedule. Still, I resolved I wasn't going to promise a date for any more episodes until I was sure that they were on the horizon. And now they're here. Here's a taste.
Once there was a time when I was a hero. Those days are gone, meaning I'm on a
Check. All right. Season 2. Still, this was only my third class with this group, and I didn't really feel like I was in a place with any of them where I could give them the finger. But my wife of 23 years, that was another story.
We've got a new leader. The Lavenders get it done. The Trospers make a mistake. The last time through the on any racetrack is
that you just have to relentlessly bind yourself to tragedy. It's like Alvy Singer.
Fucking great.
Stop, Dad.
Hiking down to the Giants Causeway, and it is windy.
Stop it.
So the doc's looking over my blood pressure readings on my phone. Plenty are in the green, and maybe a few times a month I'll dart up into the yellow cautionary zone. But then there's that one red reading, the 155/90. His eyes bug out a bit when he sees it, and he asks, "What happened there?" "Teenagers," I said.
The zombie shuffle 2 by 2, hurrah! Hurrah! The zombie shuffle 2 by 2, the husbands marching on.
If you find yourself using what the what ever in any context, please stop it.
And you said, okay, that's great, because I want you to know if that dog was my dog, I would name it Divorce.
You can actually tell how people are feeling based on how they snap you, because if someone just sends like a little bit of the corner of their face, like they're probably more angry or irritable.
We will obey!
I mean, would I have had sex in an elevator? You know, I was 19. I probably would have had sex on an escalator if that was an option. Toured by singing their songs to us as we drive through the Wicklow Mountains.
We were standing there, and he swung his hips over to one side, which was his signal for getting ready to poop, and he lifted his tail, and he pooped a humongous poop in the sanctuary.
My intent, and I'm on the record, was not to fool or mislead. It was an honest American mistake.
I don't think you can say honest mistake since you were telling a lie.
Man, you're really sticking to that lie thing, aren't you?
You could say it was a liar, pants on fire mistake. Before Twitter, if you wanted to sound off on an important topic, You drank 3 beers in quick succession, and you pointed at your friends and started sentences with the phrase, "You don't know me." That by his own count, he's seen 1,000,000 faces, and in fact, has rocked them all. Note there, he says all of them. His face-rocking average, he claims, after 1,000,000 at-bats is a cool 1,000. Not a single person among this 1,000,000 people that he has seen has failed to have their faces rocked. It's unbelievable.
Stop it! What the folks? What are you doing? What? Easy. Hey!
Don't shove me, you asshole! Oh my god! Easy.
All right, we're back at the unsanctioned dirt races. Crowd's now 4 or 5 people thick. It is dusty out there. Trying to describe what we're seeing now. Darkness is falling. The dust is obscuring almost everything, so you see just a line of headlights coming towards you. And then as they pass you, you can see the riders. The guy just took a bad spill into the garbage can. He's not even picking up the garbage!
Can you stop for a second? I didn't ask you what surprised you about your life yet.
Oh.
You just started answering your own question from my interview.
Oh.
What surprises you about your life?
I can't seem to follow directions. I'm anticipating at least a 10-episode run for Season 2, with a bonus episode a distinct possibility if this season goes as well as Season 1 did. I'm in the middle of production right now, so I'm reasonably confident we'll be off and running in early 2019, with a new episode every other week, and possibly some mini-episodes in between. After which, if we're all still getting a bang out of it, I'll start working on some more. Look for the first episode of Season 2 on January 3rd, 2019. And if you haven't done so, head to PeteBrownSays.com where you can sign up for the newsletter, you can click Submit and respond to a prompt, and maybe your story will be on a future show, and you can check out all the episodes in Season 1. I'm happy to say when I concluded Season 1 at the end of 2017, over the past year, the download numbers just continued to increase, and I ended up actually doubling my download totals without doing any additional promotion. That's all word of mouth. People like you who like the show, telling a friend about it, or saying something nice on social media, or leaving a review on iTunes. All right, until January 3rd, I'm Pete Brown. Good times, everybody. Good times.
Once there was a time when I was a hero. Those days are gone, meaning I'm on ahead.
Pete Brown Says is the property of Blue Monkey Communications and is a work of creative nonfiction audio written and produced by me, Pete Brown. This show is written to the very best of my memory. If you like the show, can I ask you to take 5 minutes and leave a review on iTunes? More than anything else you can do, this will really help get these stories in front of more people. If online reviews aren't your thing, maybe just tell a friend or two that there's this quirky new podcast that they should check out. Finally, you can follow the show on Facebook at facebook.com/Pete Brown Says, on Instagram and Twitter at Pete Brown Says, and also over on Medium at medium.com/Pete Brown Says. Music from today's show comes from some amazingly talented people I know, including Brian Hake and Kevin Davison, longtime boon companions of mine who were once in a band together. Closing song Zeus is by Brian Hake. Additional tracks and sound effects in the show are courtesy of the websites audionautics.com and freesound.org and are licensed under Creative Commons. Thanks again for your time today. I know what a scarce resource attention is anymore, and I'm genuinely honored that you have invested some of yours with me. Until next time, good times, everybody.